In the last two videos, we explored what minimalism is and why people choose it. We talked about the benefits and the honest challenges. We discussed who it's for and who might struggle with it. And if you're watching this video, you've probably decided to give it a try. Or at least to take the first step and see how it feels. That's what today is about. The practical, actionable first steps. Not theory. Not philosophy. Just exactly what to do, starting today, to begin your minimalism journey. But before we dive into the how, I want to share something important. Something that many people get wrong when they start. They try to do everything at once. They look at their cluttered home and think, I need to declutter the entire house this weekend. They get motivated, set aside a Saturday, and dive in. And by Saturday afternoon, they're exhausted. Overwhelmed. Surrounded by piles of stuff they don't know what to do with. They give up. They shove everything back into closets. And they tell themselves minimalism isn't for them. But the problem wasn't minimalism. The problem was trying to eat the elephant in one bite. There's an old question, how do you eat an elephant? The answer, one bite at a time. Minimalism is the same. You don't do it all at once. You do it one small step at a time. And each small step prepares you for the next one. So let's talk about those steps. Let me walk you through exactly how to begin. Step 1, get clear on your why. Before you touch a single item, before you open a single drawer, sit down and write. Why do you want to try minimalism? What do you hope it will give you? More time. Less stress. Financial freedom. A calmer home. Better focus. More space for what matters. Be specific. Write it down. Keep it somewhere you can see it. Because when decluttering gets hard, when you're standing in your closet holding an item you spent money on but never use, you'll need to remember why you're doing this. Your why is your anchor. It keeps you going when motivation fades. Let me tell you about someone who did this well. Her name was Sarah. Sarah was a teacher, a mother of two, and she was drowning. Her house was full of stuff. Toys everywhere. Clothes overflowing. Papers piling up. And she felt stressed every time she walked through her door. Sarah's why was simple, I want to come home and feel peaceful instead of anxious. She wrote that sentence on a piece of paper and stuck it on her refrigerator. And every time she felt tempted to give up on decluttering, she read that sentence. It reminded her what she was working toward. Step 2, start with the easiest area. This is crucial. Do not start with your hardest area. Don't start with sentimental items. Don't start with your garage full of 10 years of accumulated stuff. Don't start with your kids' toys if you have emotional attachment to their childhood. Start with something easy. Something where the decisions are obvious. Something small and contained. A junk drawer. A bathroom cabinet. A shelf in your closet. One kitchen drawer. Pick something that won't take more than 20 minutes. Something where you know most items can go without much thought. Why start easy? Because you need a win. You need to feel what it's like to finish decluttering one space completely. To see it clean and organized. To experience that small feeling of accomplishment. That feeling is what motivates you to tackle the next area. And the next. And the next. Sarah started with her bathroom drawer. The one full of old makeup, expired medicine, hotel toiletries she never used. She set a timer for 15 minutes. She pulled everything out. And she sorted it into two piles, keep and trash. Most of it was trash. Expired. Broken. Unused for years. Within 15 minutes, she had a clean, organized drawer with only what she actually used. And something shifted. She felt lighter. Calmer. Proud. And she wanted more of that feeling. Step 3. Use a simple sorting system. When you're ready to declutter an area, you need a system. A way to make decisions about each item. Without a system, you'll waste time and energy going back and forth. Here's the simplest system. Get 4 boxes or bags. Label them: keep, donate, sell, trash. Take everything out of the area you're decluttering. Yes, everything. Empty that drawer completely. Clear that shelf. Pull everything off that closet rod. Now go through each item one at a time. Ask yourself these questions. Do I use this regularly? If you haven't used it in the last 90 days and won't use it in the next 90, it goes. Do I love this? If it doesn't bring you joy or serve a purpose, why is it taking up space in your home? Would I buy this again today if I didn't already own it? This question cuts through attachment to money you've already spent. Does this align with the life I want to live? This is the big one. Does this item support the person you're becoming or the person you used to be? Be honest. If the answer to these questions is no, the item goes in donate, sell, or trash. If the answer is yes, it goes in keep. But only if you can give it a specific home. If you don't have space for it, you probably don't need it. Sarah used this system on her clothes. She pulled everything out of her closet. Literally everything. And she went through each piece one by one. Dress she hadn't worn in 2 years. Donate. Jeans that didn't fit anymore. Donate. Shirt she bought on sale but never liked. Donate. By the end, she had reduced her wardrobe by half. And the remaining half was clothes she actually wore and loved. Getting dressed became easier. Faster. Less stressful. Because every item in her closet was something she was happy to wear. Step 4. Deal with your sorted items immediately. This is where many people fail. They declutter. They sort items into piles. And then those piles sit in their garage for weeks. Months even. Don't do this. Deal with your piles the same day. Or at least within 24 hours. Trash goes to the trash immediately. No second thoughts. If it's broken or expired or truly garbage, get it out of your house. Donate items go in your car that day. Drive them to a donation center within the week. Don't give yourself time to rethink. Once something is in the donate pile, it's gone. Sell items get listed online immediately. Or you designate one weekend for a garage sale. But set a deadline. If items don't sell within that time, they go to donation. Don't let them sit around forever. Keep items go back in their designated spots. Everything needs a home. If you can't find a specific place for something, you probably don't need it. Sarah learned this the hard way. After her first big decluttering session, she left bags of donation items in her garage for 3 weeks. And during those 3 weeks, she went through them twice, pulling items back out. The second time she decluttered, she put donation bags in her car immediately and drove to the donation center that afternoon. No second chances. No rethinking. And it felt liberating. Step 5. Embrace the one-in one-out rule. This is how you prevent clutter from coming back. This is how you maintain the progress you've made. The rule is simple: for every new item you bring into your home, one item must leave. Buy a new shirt. An old shirt goes to donation. Buy a new book. An old book goes. Get a gift. Something else leaves to make space for it. This rule does 2 things. First, it keeps your home from filling up again. Second, it makes you think carefully before buying anything new. Because you know that bringing something in means letting something go. And often, when faced with that reality, you realize you don't need the new item as much as you thought. Sarah implemented this rule after her initial decluttering. And she found it changed her shopping habits completely. She stopped buying things impulsively. She thought carefully about each purchase. And she bought much less overall. Step 6. Focus on progress, not perfection. You will make mistakes. You'll donate something and then wish you had kept it. You'll keep something and later realize you should have let it go. You'll have days where you don't feel like decluttering at all. That's all normal. That's all okay. Minimalism is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. It's about getting a little bit better, a little bit clearer, a little bit lighter. Sarah kept items she later regretted. A kitchen gadget she thought she would use but never did. A dress she convinced herself she'd wear someday. But instead of beating herself up, she learned from it. The next time she decluttered, she was more honest with herself. And that's the point. Each round of decluttering teaches you something. About what you actually use. About what you actually value. About the difference between what you think you should want and what you really want. Step 7. Schedule regular decluttering sessions. Decluttering is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice. Because stuff accumulates. Life brings new things. And you need to keep evaluating what stays and what goes. Put it in your calendar. Once a month, spend 30 minutes decluttering one area. It doesn't have to be a big area. Just one drawer. One shelf. One corner. This regular practice keeps clutter from building up. And it keeps you connected to your minimalist values. It reminds you why you're doing this. Sarah scheduled her decluttering sessions for the first Saturday of every month. Just 30 minutes. She'd put on music, set a timer, and tackle one small area. And it kept her home feeling peaceful and organized. Now, let me give you a few common mistakes to avoid. Mistake 1. Starting with sentimental items. Do not begin your minimalism journey with photo albums, your children's artwork, or your grandmother's china. These items are emotionally charged. They're the hardest to let go of. Save them for later, after you've built your decluttering muscles on easier items. Mistake 2. Trying to be perfect. You don't need to count your possessions. You don't need to fit everything you own into one bag. You don't need to have an empty, white minimalist aesthetic. Your version of minimalism is yours to define. Mistake 3. decluttering other people's stuff. You can only declutter your own belongings. Don't try to force minimalism on your partner, your children, or your roommates. Lead by example. Let them see how it changes your life. But let them make their own choices. Mistake 4, feeling guilty about money you've spent. Yes, you bought that expensive jacket and only wore it once. But keeping it won't get your money back. The money is already gone. Holding on to the jacket just adds clutter and guilt. Let it go. Learn the lesson. Move on. Mistake 5, rushing the process. There's no deadline. You don't have to be done by a certain date. Take your time. Move at your own pace. This is a lifestyle change, not a weekend project. Let me end with where Sarah is now, 1 year after she started. Her home is not empty. It's not stark or cold or minimalist in the Instagram sense. But it's peaceful. Everything in it has a purpose or brings her joy. There's space to breathe. Space to think. Space to live. She spends less time cleaning and organizing. More time with her kids. More time reading. More time doing things she actually cares about. And the most important change. She comes home now and feels peaceful instead of anxious. She achieved her why. That's what the first steps of minimalism can do. They create space. Physical space. Mental space. Emotional space. So here's your homework. Your actual, practical next step. Today, right now, choose one small area to declutter. One drawer. One shelf. One corner of one room. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Pull everything out. Sort it into keep, donate, and trash. Be honest with yourself. Ask the hard questions. And then deal with it immediately. Trash goes out. Donate goes in your car. Keep goes back in organized. That's it. That's your first step. 20 minutes. One small area. And see how it feels. If it feels good, tomorrow you choose another small area. And another the next day. And slowly, one small step at a time, your home transforms. Not overnight. Not in one weekend. But gradually, steadily, meaningfully. In the next video, we'll talk about digital minimalism. How to apply these same principles to your phone, your computer, your digital life. Because clutter isn't just physical. And simplifying your digital world can be just as powerful as simplifying your home. But for now, just take the first step. One drawer. 20 minutes. And notice what happens when you do. Thank you for watching. Now go choose your drawer. And begin. I hope this video brought you something meaningful. If you find it helpful, please like and share it with someone who may need it. Subscribe if you would like to hear more stories like this. Wishing you a calm and peaceful day.